it's Ron Brown with Tech for Senior Live. I'll be your host today. Please put in the chat where you're from and who you are. When we start reviewing the news articles, if you want to look at our Facebook page, just click here and you can follow the articles along as we go. See you in a moment.
You're muted, Ron.
Tech for Senior Live. It is July the 28th. Thank you for that rousing music, Huey. That really woke everyone up. Is everyone awake?
I hope so.
There we go. Welcome, everyone. It's Tech for Senior Live. The usual gang is here. It is a hot, sunny July day. We are going to have a lot of fun this next hour. We're going to, I'm going to introduce everyone. We're going to talk a little bit today about, are you happy with your cell phone plan? And then we are going to go over the news of the week. So we have a big program for everybody. But who are we? Well, we're a gang of seniors that likes to get together and talk about technology. We all are on our Monday show. So we have a big show on Monday called Tech for Senior. And if you'd like to join us or come along, you can find all the information. Let's see here. I think we've got something. All our information at www.techforsenior.com. So you go there and you'll find out it's a Zoom meeting and you can participate, join, and we broadcast that out, of course, to YouTube. We broadcast it out to YouTube. This meeting, of course, is being broadcast to StreamYard, through StreamYard, and it's going out to our Facebook feed and YouTube. So if you're over on our Zoom meeting ID, we'll see you on Monday. Nobody's there. So anyway, if you want to find out how to get here, again, if you just go to www.techforsenior.com, you'll see a big red button there, and it will tell you to hit this button, and it'll take you right to where you need to go. So we make it real easy for you. Today, we are going to, and so today's Thursday, and we podcast this out on for tomorrow. So if you want to listen to us, you miss it, and you want to do that, you can certainly listen to it either by podcast, or we, of course, record this on our YouTube channel. We also have a newsletter, and the newsletter comes out twice a week. And again, that's you can find that at www.techforsenior.com, and sign up for the newsletter, and we'll keep you posted on all our happenings and all the things that we've got going, which is a lot of things, particularly today, because this is a marathon day. Huey, what are we doing after this?
After this, we take a short break, and then we come back with learning Chromebooks.
Yes, indeed. And so we have a big show for you. We're going to take a little bit of a break, and then learning Chromebooks. That is our Facebook page that we have, and that is lists all the articles we're going to talk about. And if you come back over to this Tech for Senior, you'll see a note there where you can register for learning Chromebooks, because you do have to register, right, Huey? It's free, but you have to register.
But if you're already registered, you stay registered.
Right.
And if you are registered, you should have received a message on Tuesday, actually Wednesday morning, I think it was. No, it was Tuesday I sent it out. And then again this morning I sent it out.
Right.
A reminder with the link.
Right. So that's so yes, we are busy. Now let me introduce everyone. Of course, you all, of course, know this really famous, popular guy, Huey Poplick, right? He's also the co-host with me on our Monday show. Huey and I spend a lot of time talking together. But you know, he lives in Bradenton, Florida. I live in over on the west coast of Canada, and you know, we've never met. We've never seen each other. We've never introduced you. The other two guys I've met, and I can attest they are real people, because people like Bob Gustisha is he's here today, and of course Bob is a very good friend of ours, and he sort of is also founder of Tech for Senior on Mondays, and has been with us right from the start. Bob is our security expert. Well, he's just an expert on everything. You know, he's always got something going. He's always got videos coming out. But he likes to talk about security. But anything you want to talk about, Bob's in that. He knows a lot of stuff. So we are so happy. But he's not from. He's from Meadow Lake, New Mexico, or Las Lunas, New Mexico. Whatever. It's all the same thing.
Las Lunas is the town, and
right.
Meadow Lake is the community.
Is the community, yeah. So Bob's of course. So we're all in different parts of the world, and then we have Ray Baxter. He's from Arizona, from Pine, Arizona, which is it's hot down in Phoenix, but I guess it's a little cooler up in Pine, eh?
Well, it's 68 degrees right now. So
really,
yeah. This is the time of the year is perfect, particularly when we get the monsoons, which have been happening every day now. The forecast all this week is rain every day at about 4:00. I love it.
Really? Is it going to rain down in Phoenix as well?
Sometimes, but not often. We get the monsoons. They sometimes get the tail end of the storms.
Huh? Interesting.
Yeah, we've been getting rain here in Bradenton almost every day, but today we're not supposed to get any, and we have a heat advisory. Supposed to be feel like over 100 from noon until 6 o'clock.
Well, one of the things that happens is when we're doing this show, we have no idea who's out there. So we don't know if we're just having a chat and talking to ourselves and drinking coffee and sort of enjoying life, or are there people out there listening to us? So if you wouldn't mind putting your name out there and where you're from, we'll have a look at you now and see who's listening. Bob, of course, is here. He's a regular. Washington heading for 91. Yeah, the West Coast gang is definitely hot. Steve's from Kirkland, Washington, 73. Gerald's from Seattle, 70. Yeah. Joan is, of course, from Victoria. Hi, Joan.
All the West Coast people got on first, I guess.
Yeah, and Murray, of course, from Victoria. Yeah. Hi, Murray. Bernard from Sterling Heights Computer Club in Detroit, Michigan. Yeah. Greg's here. Greg found the site. He wanted to come. He was on our Monday show. Greg's, of course, a friend of mine who I live next to in Mesa, Arizona, at Silver Ridge Resort. And Greg and I did lots of talks together. Hi, Ray. We went and saw Elvis. Oh, good. What a very sad show. I had no idea what happened to him. Is it a tearful show, Ray?
Well, it gives you the story. Probably what the saddest part. You know, Elvis never appeared overseas. He never did anything overseas. Why? Because Colonel Tom Parker, who wasn't a colonel, and his first name wasn't Tom, and his last name wasn't Parker. He was an illegal alien, basically, and didn't want to have to leave the country for fear he wouldn't get back in. So he really controlled a lot of Elvis. Some good, some not so good. And that's what made those parts sad.
Interesting. Stu from Dunedin, Florida. Liz Milford from Ohio. Hi, Liz. Sally, hot today from Kirkland, Washington. Yes, it is going to be hot. George from Victoria, listening from Victoria, cleaning up my workbench. Well, that's a good project. Indoor stuff. Greg, Boise, Idaho. Yep. And Maureen from Victoria. Hi, Maureen.
So we get people from all over.
We do. Now, the topic that we want to talk a little bit about today before we get to the news is, are you happy with your cell phone plan? So if you could just a yes or no in the chat there, let us know if you are happy with your plan. So you guys, Huey, are you happy with your cell phone plan?
I just switched. I switched from AT&T to T-Mobile,
Mhm.
and at first I wasn't because I was getting terrible data speeds where I live, and of course that's where my phone is most of the time. But if you follow me on Facebook, I just showed some pictures. They just added to a tower next to the community where I live, and they put a whole bunch of antennas up. And now I'm getting speeds on my data plan. Now, this is not Wi Fi, this is on the data plan. I'm getting speeds of around 90 download and about 45, 50 up, which is not bad.
So I guess
Sorry-
one of the things
Sorry,
is,
Rob.
yeah, I guess it's one of the things is that it changes, right? I mean, as new towers, new
If I go
service.
to if I go outside the village that I live in, it's going to be a different tower and probably be a different speed.
Mhm.
But these are brand new antennas they just put up on the tower next to us, and so I'm getting really good speeds. Before I was getting like one down and then a half of one up.
So that's good news. And Bob, what about you? Are you are stuck with your tower? You're out in the sticks, right?
Yeah, well, there is no tower. We're waiting for Verizon to put up a tower.
Mhm.
But I'm with T-Mobile, their senior plan,
Mhm.
which gives you 2 lines for $60 in round figures, which is pretty darn cheap. But the service is atrocious. So T-Mobile supplied me with something that hooks into my modem router that gives me self-service over the internet. And I become a broadcast for my neighbors around me who also happen to be using T-Mobile. Didn't cost me anything. And if and when I decide to leave T-Mobile, I have to return that unit. Of course, once Verizon puts up its tower, T-Mobile better be very close to the top with its dish, or goodbye T-Mobile, hello Verizon.
So Bob, how did you find out about that?
The part I'm well aware of the fact. I've done lots of investigating as to how to improve the service, and one of the things is just exactly that: your cell service over the internet, and they have a device. Usually it's $60, but if you insist hard enough and complain loud enough, and in our case, we've been a T-Mobile customer, I guess, for 20 years. Uh, then they finally said, listen, we're going to ship something out. It's very easy to hook up. And once you do that, you'll have no more problems getting service when I'm at home. I still have problems anyplace else up here in Meadow Lake. But as long as I'm home, I have no problems with making phone calls and receiving phone calls.
Very good. Ray, what about you? You're living in Pine, Arizona. Does Pine have lots of choice, or what's with you?
Well, when I moved here back in 2004, it was clear that there was only one provider that covered really the entire area well, and that was Verizon. And that's held true over the years. So as an example, in Payson, the nearest big town, they have they had at one time 4 Verizon stores and nobody else. So now it's changing a little bit. T-Mobile is making some inroads. They have their own store in Payson, Arizona now, and and the people I know that have T-Mobile are satisfied with the service. I don't know anybody that has AT&T. It's a market up here. Again, we're not heavily populated. 15,000 people in the entire area. So the bigger companies normally go for large population areas. I do want to tell you one thing that worked out yesterday for me by having Verizon as my carrier. And Best Buy has this special sale on the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 3 5G phone. They normally run for $1,000. But if you have a Verizon plan or you want to be a new Verizon customer, Best Buy will sell you that. Some people consider it a flagship phone for $300.
Wow. Can you buy me one?
I bought myself one yesterday. Remember,
Oh,
I
did
told
you?
you.
You got a flip one.
Remember, I told you yesterday that a few weeks back with my Ionic smartwatch that I
Yeah.
picked up for under $100 used.
Yeah.
That had burning problems. So Fitbit gave me $300 for that phone, for that watch, and I could not. What am I going to do with this money? Yesterday, I made the decision. So I've gotten a Galaxy smartwatch for under $90 if you consider how the money has flowed.
Well, I'm really interested to find out how you like the flip phone. That'll be great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've even done a little comparison. Now, the Flip Phone 4 is coming out next month in August. So
Right.
that's why there's a big push to get rid of the older
Do you
inventory.
actually have the phone, or did they order
No,
it?
I ordered it. It'll be
Oh, okay.
here. It'll come on Monday.
I
So-
can feel a video coming out about this.
Yeah.
I can just sort of feel that.
I've always wanted a flip phone just for the ease of carrying it in your pocket. It folds up nice, and it's anyway. Yes, I will do a little review for you for sure.
Excellent. Well, I'll tell you my story about my cell phone. So it's sort of an interesting one. When we first started going down to Arizona 10 years ago, I bought, each time I went down there in the winter, I would buy a consumer cellular SIM card and pop it in. So I used some consumer cellular, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. Then I switched after a while. When I got my Pixel 3 phone a number of years ago, I switched to Google Fi. And Google, of course, has their own cell phones. A lot of people don't know this, but they have their own cell phone service. And I loved it. As a Canadian, if you have a residence now Google Fi is only available in the United States, and you must have you don't have to be you have to have a residence, I guess an address in the United States. I did, because we had a house down there. I loved it. For Canadians going down there, Google Fi is great. Traveling, Google Fi is great. But of course, when we sold it, not being in Canada now, you can't use it anymore. So I had to leave Google Fi and move. And right now, I have my cell phone plan is with my cable company, and I get it for $20 a month. It's a great plan. So the other thing people can consider is a lot of time the cable companies have cell phone companies now and they bundle the costs. And so I have free phones all across Canada. It's like $20 a month. I love it. It's a great plan. But the interesting thing I wanted just to let everybody know, they may not know this resource. First of all, while you're thinking about that thought, I want everyone to understand, does everyone know what an MNVO is? And I'll tell you about that in just a minute. But what I want you to do is, this is one of the things that I did when I was traveling, and when I was quite on the road down in Arizona, is what Bob talked about was aerials and how to improve cell phone signals. And this is the Mobile Internet Resource Center, and it's I'll just bring up this is their webpage, and this is Chris and Cherie, and they have this website, and it's been going for quite a while. They're good friends of Chris and Jim Gould's, and I joined their community and listened to and joined their community and became a member for 2 years. And these people do all the testing of equipment. They have a little university you can go to learn all sorts of stuff about all this. They have courses. They have workshops each week on people who are traveling and who want to learn more about how to improve your cellular signal. And so this is a big resource for people. And I would encourage you, if you are interested in this, and it's something that you're having problems with your signal, and you might, particularly like Bob was talking about antennas. Well, there are hundreds of antennas. There's all sorts of, they talk in another language that I don't even, PEP things and all sorts of stuff that go on. And so, but it's all there because there are lots of different antennas and different ways you can do it. And this is all outlined in their website. They've been doing this for a long time now, and they actually have testers in the field that take these antennas out and test them. And there's a bunch of different ones. So it is a great resource, so that if you are interested in that, for sure, I'll leave the link up there for a little while. Now, what is an MNVO? Well, So this is very interesting. Of course, you probably all understand that the cell phone towers are owned probably by the big three: AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile. They physically own those towers. But in the United States, as of 2018, there was about 140 MNVOs, which are called mobile network virtual operators. That's a big word, but they're called mobile network virtual operators. Goodness gracious, what is all that about? Well, that means that they don't actually own the towers. These are companies who use the towers that the big three have. And examples of that, of course, would be two of the ones that I used were Consumer Cellular and Google Fi. These are MNVOs. So, and one of the things we used to do when we went down in our computer club, we talked about this in the early days about what were the best deals. And I remember going around to some of the cell phone stores. These would be private stores, and they always had these SIM cards in the back, and you could get these stinking good deals, right? Probably works so well now because you have to be really careful with two-factor authentication. You don't want to be switching your phone numbers because then that's usually when you need a SIM card switch, you need a new phone number. So you want to be really, really careful with that now. That doesn't work like it did in the past. You have to really, really be careful because you want to keep your same number or you're going to get into big trouble. But one of the things with MNVOs is, and I guess everyone should understand that. But now even more is that I think that you have to really consider what you want with your plan. If you are going to be traveling and you're going to be traveling international, maybe you have a plan that's specific for that. Or if you're going to just stay locally, then you may find an MNVO that works really well for you. And there's lots of choices out there. But remember, the big three still will offer probably, and they have quite a variety of plans, a lot more variety than they did in the past. So when you're considering, just remember what an MNVO is and what some of the limitations might be.
If I can step in for a second.
Sure, go ahead, Bob.
For me, the easiest way to remember what an MNVO is, it stands for maybe not Verizon owned.
Good one, Bob. Good one. That's good. So, Huey, do we have any comments out there?
We sure do.
Mm-hmm.
Gerald Smith said yes.
Your question was,
is he happy?
Is he happy?
He is happy. Oh, okay. He is happy. All right. Greg says on my.
Yeah, that was from something else.
Sally said yes. She's happy as well. Oh, okay. Maureen, maybe everyone's happy. I thought there'd be lots of controversy over this. Murray says, I am okay with it. I don't have data and my TV, landline, internet, mostly free, right? George says, okay with Freedom Mobile, 2 numbers, 95 including taxes with 17 gigabytes per month, allows purchase of 150 gigabytes of additional, yeah. Couples with cell phones are keeping landlines just for picking up calls by either partner. How can this be done without a Google Voice? Not available in Canada. So, George, one of the things that you can do is, which is really interesting, is you can take the Panasonic has one. These are portable phones that you have. You can buy them. Costco has them for about $130. They're portable phone systems, not cellular phones, but they're portable phone systems that you can put in your house. You know how you have the base station and you have these 3 portable phones. Well, what you can do is you can actually have your cell phone numbers associated with those portable phones, so that if you have 2 cell phone numbers and you and your wife have one, then when you come into the house, if your cell phone rings, it will actually ring on the portable phones, which go right throughout the house. And the rings are a little bit different. So with one set of phones throughout the house, it rings on the same phones. And so you get a little bit different ring for each one. And that's a way in which you can use a number of cell phone numbers with only one set of phones throughout the house. Do you guys use that? Have you ever used that?
Yeah, I've got it connects with Bluetooth.
Right.
And but I also have a Google Voice number, which is it comes into my house, and I have an OB High. They changed. Somebody else bought them, and it's a little bit different now. But OB High piece of equipment that I plug into my router, and there's software that connects to it. That I then have my phone set for the house connected to it as well, so that when that phone rings or when my regular phone rings, all of those little portable phones in the house will ring.
Right. Different ways you can do it. So I hope that answers. But the cell phone, but the portable phone thing is really easy and it really works quite well. Any other questions out there for us, Huey?
This one.
Consumer Cellular, $35. Consumer Cellular is an MNVO. I like Consumer Cellular. I don't see any problem with them. The only thing is, if you travel, not so good, and if you call Canada, not so good. So if you stay within the United States and you are traveling only in the United States, then Consumer Cellular does work well. But it won't work if you travel abroad, and that's a big problem with Consumer Cellular. Are we caught up?
Yeah, we're caught up.
We are. Okay. I think we might as well get to work now, and let's do some articles. For those of you who, I'll get that a little bit larger in a minute. For those of you who, well, I'm just enlarging this now. If you want to pop over, you can follow along on our Facebook page as we go over the articles. Yeah, how big this works.
Have you refreshed your page, or is it still from who knows when?
I know. You wanted me to make sure that you got
that
you snuck an article in here.
Ulterior motive there for Bob.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, right, Bob. Right. Oh, look at Bob's got the first article. Surprise! Let me see here. I want to get it big enough here. Just a minute here. There we go. All right.
That's
Bob.
all right. The easiest way is just follow along on our Facebook page.
Yeah.
I have another browser open to our Facebook page. So, and then you can make it as big as you'd like. It's your Facebook page that's open on your computer or Chromebook or whatever.
So, Bob, Puzzle Party, Google Arts and Culture. What is all this about?
Well, Google Arts and Culture has a whole bunch of nifty little things. I've demonstrated some of them in the past.
Yeah, and I have.
Yeah. What they have now, something new, is if you enjoy jigsaw puzzles, take a look, and you can actually do jigsaw puzzles right on your computer, your Chromebook, whatever. Follow the link and have a puzzle party.
Really? Can you do it? Can you do it with other people? You can do the puzzle. So you actually don't have to be in the room?
This is done on your, I don't know whether or not it's shareable. That I don't know. I didn't get into it totally.
Are there degrees of
I'm also not very good at doing puzzles, so.
All right. Well, that's cool. That'd be interesting. Thanks, Bob.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Let's have a look here. These are the comments. This is the mobile internet resource we talk. So this is what we don't need to talk about this. This is the mobile internet. I put the link on our page. So if anyone wants the link, it's right there. Huey,
I put a reminder up about the Learning Chromebooks. If you don't have the link, you can sign up and you can get a link yet.
And you can do that right there on our page.
Yep.
Okay. Thanks, Huey. Yeah, it's a good idea. Yeah, great. And I don't want to go into this, but these are the what prompted my talking about this today was each week they publish, and this was on the Mobile Syrup publishes this. These are the changes in the Canadian carrier rates and all the different plans in 1 week, and it goes on and on forever, right? So like these plans change weekly. Like there's so many changes. So keep looking and keep watching, because there's always great deals. Huey, there's SpaceX. There's no software fix to resolve what? What are we talking about here?
SpaceX and Starlink are having an issue with the Dish network. Dish wants to get access to the 12, I think it's 12 megahertz band, and SpaceX says if they do that and have access, it will interfere with Starlink, and people with Starlink will not be able to receive a signal. And they've asked their followers and users to send a letter to the FCC not to allow Dish Network to have that access. And the FCC has received 90,000 comments from SpaceX about SpaceX and to support them. So, but it still hasn't been decided.
When do you know when the decision is
And of course, Dish is saying, "Oh, it should be fixable, and there shouldn't be any problem."
Do you know when a decision is forthcoming? Or
Going to have to be pretty soon, is my understanding.
all right, interesting.
If Dish interferes, this is one Dish customer who's going to disappear. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's cool, and the nice thing about it is we have, of course, Greg is listening today. Greg Farrell's on the is on in the audience, and he has, of course, Starlink, and he always gives us. He's on our Monday show and always give us a Starlink show, and he's been very, very happy with his Starlink installation, and he gets good service and good speed with it. So yeah, that's interesting. Bob, lifesavvy.com. What's this?
Keep track of when you take your medication easily. They provide caps that have a timer in it that lets you know how long since you've taken your last dose of medicine. So for those of us who can't ever remember, geez, did I take my medicine? Just look at the cap. It tells you how long since you last opened and took out a pill. And they come, from what I understand, in two sizes for the larger containers and also for the regular containers, because usually your medication, depending on size, of course, determines how big a bottle they have to put it in. It's not the cheapest, but if you can't remember if you took your medicine, this is an excellent way for you. Just look at the cap. It tells you, when did you last open? Well, if I opened it 2 hours ago, and I'm not supposed to take it except twice a day, I know that I took it, okay, this morning, but it's not yet time to open it to take my next one for at night.
I use a pill box that has actually 4 containers per day. And since I only take pills morning and another one at night, I split it up and I just mark with a magic marker, which AM and PM. So I got 2 weeks worth in that one, and I got 2 of them. So I got a month's worth, and I can look at it and see, oh, I took this morning's, so I don't have to worry about it. And then tonight I'll look, oh, I haven't taken it yet. So there it is.
You and I are very frugal. Some people, if you've got the money, this is a great way to do it.
Yep.
I personally, to me, I got too many bottles that I'd have to worry about, so forget about it.
Yeah, that's why I use the pill box. I take six in the morning and 4 at night.
You're still very well off.
I have a free way of doing this, and it's 100% perfect, and it always works. It's my wife says when I go to bed, "Did you take your pills?" So
yeah, but if you can't remember.
Well, it's right when I get into bed. I usually take them before I go to bed, and so I can usually remember between the bathroom and the bed. And as soon as I get into bed, she says, "Did you take your pills?" And she never forgets. Every night. It's clockwork, right? So it's if you want, I can rent her service out. I mean, anyway, all right, okay, good one, Bob. What's it? Oh, this is really interesting. This is super interesting, and we're going to talk about this on learning Chromebooks a bit. I hope Huey will let me talk about this. This is Google is changing the video editor and virtual desk, and this actually is going through Google Photos, and Google Photos is going to put a new video editor into Google Photos that allows you to format things. And this is largely regarding TikTok and YouTube Shorts. So you'll be able to actually make all the modifications and everything into the Google Photos, into Google when you're actually doing a video on Google Photos. If you're doing it, it'll be timed for under a minute because it has to be under a minute for a YouTube short. And you can actually edit it, put titles on it and everything, and put it right up into YouTube. This is a big deal. This is a really big deal. But the first phase of this is coming to Chromebooks, right? And so the Google Photos app on your Chromebook will have this this new feature, and it's going to be really cool. I think it's I'm super excited about this. I think this is going to work really well.
Yeah, Adobe is going to have a free online photo editing that will be able to be done with a Chromebook as well, and that's coming soon as well.
Mm-hmm. So we can talk about more about that,
because that's been one of the drawbacks. Usually when we talk about the features of Chromebooks, one of its downplays is the fact you can't do video editing.
Right.
You can with Screencast-O-Matic.
Yes. But this will all be, the cool part about this is it's all done through Google Photos, right? So you know, that'll be really cool. Just let everyone know that the latest new Google Maps update will benefit tourists, cyclists, friends, and family. So now you have aerial views. If you look here, you can see an aerial view of the popular tourist resorts. They've added that. And also for cyclists, they've added a lot more features for cyclists. If you're planning on going from A to B, gives you elevations, timing, if there's any, you know, hazards and all sorts of stuff. So they've improved it for cyclists. And this, of course, can all be coordinated with your family. So all your family members can have input as well. So this is sort of really cool. If you, people may not think about cycling and using Google Maps, right? But it is, there are lots of reasons why you should. And it's a lot of, it works out really well.
Yesterday, Chris Gould from a Geeks on Tour did a presentation about Bitcoins to a group in Colorado. And I was in attendance there. And one of the things that she mentioned is the Google Maps. If you type in ATM, it'll show you, and Bitcoin, it'll show you where all of the Bitcoin ATM machines are.
Oh, really?
So if you want to buy some Bitcoin, you can do it from a machine somewhere near home if there is a machine there.
And it finds that on Google Maps.
Yes.
Google Maps can find lots of things that you might be interested in just by typing it in the search.
Yep. Restaurants or
Yep.
Mexican restaurants
Bathrooms,
or Chinese restaurants or whatever you want. Yeah.
Yep.
Amazing. This is just another. This was from Chrome Unboxed. The same. This basically the same article. This is big news. This just came out this week, and there's lots of articles about this.
And the article you're referring to is Google Photos is getting a movie maker and upgraded video editor.
Yep. And that's basically the same article as before.
Yeah.
Bob,
you can buy a new laptop tax-free in 9 states, and that article gives you the 9 states and when they have a state tax holiday.
Yeah,
and
Florida,
also the limit of how much they'll forgive and not charge taxes on. And this applies whether you do it in the store or you do it through any of the services. So you don't have to go to the store in your neighborhood in order to avail yourself of that tax break.
But be careful
on Amazon.
Yeah, be careful on some websites to make sure that they're not charging you the sales tax if you're in that particular state. But Florida is one right now. We're from now until I forgot first week or second week in August for going back to school. There are certain items that are tax-free, and computers are one of them up to a certain price.
Bob, if you're going to buy, if you're in that article, do you have to be going to school, or are there any requirements?
No.
Oh, okay.
For us, it's computers and accessories is anything. up to a certain limit.
Right. Huh. Now the interesting thing was there was an article. I didn't post it because it only affected British Columbia, the province where I live. Was that iTunes? iTunes will not, if you buy anything now in iTunes, it won't be. I think it was you're not going to be charged the provincial sales tax because it was what was happening before was they were submitting. They had already submitted the tax from the head office, so you were paying the tax twice. So, when you bought it online, they just added the tax on, but the tax had already been paid. So that's so I guess we got to be careful with these governments and taxes. Eh? Oh, that's a cool, Bob. What is this? This looks like an. Are you going to try and get me to buy another keyboard?
It's an ergonomic keyboard called Alice.
Huh.
No, it's funny. I have an Alice vacuum cleaner in my house, and I have an actual Alice in my house. I may have put my hands on Alice more than once, but never to do any typing.
So what do you think?
No, I'm used to the regular keyboard. I don't, and I thank God have no carpal tunnel problems.
Well, Microsoft had
lucky.
one similar to that
Yes.
several years ago. But
Right.
I type with one finger on each hand, so there's no ergomatic
Well,
for me anyway.
I have gotten used to using my mouth to do my typing because that one finger in each hand just too darn slow.
Bob, what is this? Nimbus?
Nimbus, electric car built for one.
Oh, really?
Take a look at it. But you also have to be careful because from what I saw, the size of it is nice and small, so it may have some limitations. If you've eaten too much over the years, you may not fit into this thing.
Or you may not be able to get out.
And it has two wheels in front and one wheel in the back. I think it gets 93 miles to a charge. So it's not meant to do long distance.
But
and you can charge it.
It's
charge it
$10,000.
overnight. Yeah, $10,000 or
Right.
$200 a month if you rent it.
Is this
So-
a real thing? Can you actually?
Yeah. You right now you can reserve it. $100 gets you a reservation, and they're actively building these things. So,
Really?
yep.
Huh.
But like I said, it's only for one. And if you use it for one and you go shopping, don't buy too much because I wouldn't know where you're
Yeah,
going.
where'd you put the groceries?
Yep.
A case of water on the roof.
Wow. All right. Well, cool. And then Huey, millions of Android devices infected with wallet draining malware. Really?
Right. It slipped through the devices that Google has to protect us in the Play Store, and people were installing software that would have malware in it, would be able to get into your different wallets and different information. And the article does list the program, so you can check and see if it's anything you've downloaded and put on your Android phone.
Okie doke. Ray, why 1 critical second can wreak havoc on the internet?
Yeah, you know the song, what a difference a day makes? Well, this is the new version, what a difference a second makes.
Oh.
And basically 27 times since 1972, a leap second has been added to the International Atomic Clock to keep it in sync with Earth's actual rotation. But by doing this now in the digital age, this has caused problems. There was a massive Reddit outage in 2012 caused by this. Just almost like Y2K, where the computers are having an issue with dates and times. So the answer from Google is to use what they're going to call it the leap smear. And the leap smear will actually, within very, very tiny increments, add that second over the course of a day. And therefore the computers won't be confused.
So because you can't just add the second all at once.
That even though 1 second is boom, that's too long for a computer. But to do it in really, really tiny increments, the computer won't notice it.
Oh, sneak it in sort of thing.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Ray, Spotify.
No, there was a time for all of us when if you wanted to hear your favorite song, you had two choices. You could turn on the radio and hope you heard it, or you could buy the record. But today, the amount of people that are now streaming, and I like to refer to this as we have two groups of people now: music listeners and music collectors. And there's more music listeners these days than there are collections. Now, this article talks about Spotify, that they now have 433, and they're based in Sweden, 433 million listeners, along with 188 million subscribers. And they expect these numbers to continue. What surprised me is that Spotify in 2021 lost $38.8 million on $11 billion in revenues. I don't know how you have all these subscribers and yet you're still losing money. But, go figure.
Interesting. Yeah. Wow. Do you know why they're so successful? Do you have any idea, or what's with their?
Their catalog was huge. They were one of the early ones to provide streaming, and them and Apple were the two biggest ones for the longest time. They probably still are. Apple, I think, is bigger in the U.S. than Spotify is. But Spotify really has a much more of an international reach.
Okay. Ray, want to know how the term Wi-Fi came to be? Yeah.
Now, if you ask people, what does Wi-Fi stand for? Well, you all know what Hi-Fi stands for, high fidelity. But, so what is Wi-Fi? Was it wide fidelity? I never knew. And so this article was really a learning experience for me. This article goes on to point it's not wireless fidelity, nor is it wireless finder. The truth is there are no actual words from which Wi-Fi was created. It was just a name settled upon by the Wi-Fi Alliance, as they felt it would be better than calling it the IEEE 802.11b.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Well, I once got curious about a Haagen-Dazs, the ice cream. What's it really mean? And when I did the search, it means nothing. Somebody made the words up.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Yeah, there is no translation to Haagen-Dazs. It's a made-up word or words.
Bob, this is another award-winning video. Is this a short? Did you make a short?
No, I didn't post it as a short, but
Okay.
it could have. No, not really. Google Photos quite often surprises us by showing us a collage of pictures we made, or a movie, or an animation, and it would be nice if you were allowed to do these things on your own. And this video shows you how to reach those things so that you at will can create your own animation, collage, or movie. Now, and the one thing you can't do in a collage is you can't arrange things the way you want. There's a genie inside of Google that decides what picture goes where, and you can't do nothing about it. That's the way Google does it. There are programs that you can install, but if you want Google Photos to do it, you have to be happy with how they arrange those pictures.
Several years ago, Microsoft had a collage program, and it's still available. It's still free,
Yep.
but you don't see it posted anywhere. They've never updated it. But you could take as many pictures as you want, and it creates a collage. And if you don't like the way it looks, you push a button, and it shuffles them around and puts them up again. You can't move them around yourself,
Right.
but it does make for a nice collage, and I've used it a lot.
Yeah, I have one where I took all the pictures of Alice and I and arranged them in a heart shape, and I put that together for one of our anniversaries.
Bob
So,
the
yeah.
Romantic.
There are lots of programs available, but this one is built right into Google Photos. You just have to know how to reach it, and this video will show you just exactly how to do that.
This was a big article this week in Canada. Huge Canadian tech company just cut thousands of jobs. Shopify. They made a big gamble that they, and of course the whole online shopping thing since the pandemic is over now is not doing as well, and they of course really couldn't make hold of it, and have just laid off 1,000 people, which is a big deal. I've never bought anything. Have you guys bought anything on Shopify?
No.
Nope.
No, but I've seen advertisements to use Shopify on your personal website or on a small company's website. So it's used a lot. You may not know you're using Shopify.
Right. I guess Amazon keeps coming. I just use Amazon, but of course Shopify is where you would set up your own merch store on your
Website.
Yeah.
But also, I follow a lot of restaurant Facebook pages and news groups, and there's more and more automation being done in the kitchens in restaurants. Pizza places, hamburger places that flip the hamburgers, who put drop the French fries in. A lot of that stuff's being automated now. Because these places are having trouble hiring people. Now they got at least an alternative. One of the local big chains restaurants here is called the Anna Marie Oyster Bar. They've got, I think, 5 units. They're going to be opening 2 more. They have a robot that the kitchen staff puts plates on it, and it goes to the table, and then the waiter or waitress takes the plate off and hands it to you. It doesn't carry any liquids, drinks, so they don't spill, but it does. It walks around. I was in there Sunday night, and there it was, and it was walking around, and they also took plates off and put it in and took it back into the kitchen.
Wow,
cool.
So you're seeing more and more automation, not just the what do you call it? When you walk into McDonald's now, you do all the ordering at a kiosk.
No, I don't.
And most of them, they pretty much have to.
Nope.
But I saw Steak and Shake has gone to that, and Wendy's that I was in the other day. When you walked in, there was a kiosk.
And McDonald's, if you're a senior, you can always get somebody to help you.
Yeah. But I was in a brand new Wendy's, and every person who walked into the door went to their kiosk, and somebody had to come out from the kitchen and show them how to use it.
Really?
Or help them with it. They had a problem with it. Yeah, it was amazing, and it wasn't very busy, but it was every single person that came in, whether they were young, there was a high schooler, probably high school age, a workman that was on his lunch break. And then there were some senior citizens came in, and every one of them had some kind of difficulty that they had to call for help to somebody to come out.
Maybe that's a topic we should be doing on our Monday show, is how to use the kiosks at McDonald's. Say, what do you guys think? Is that something we should be doing?
That could be a new full-time job for somebody in McDonald's. Just helping people.
Yeah. It's like the automated checkout at the supermarkets.
Oh yeah,
I refuse to use those too, because every time I use it, it's one person who should be working who's not.
And I was in a Walmart that they had no human beings running a cash register. It was all self-service.
Right.
Yeah, we actually have one supermarket here who was big on it, and enough of us complained, and they went back to actually having checkout people there to help us with the checkout. And they got rid of the automated one.
Yeah, if I have 5 items, I'll use the automated one. If I have 55 items, I'll use the regular checkout.
Huey, do we have any comments or?
Oh, you know what? I've been watching it on Facebook, so I don't even know. Let me see what we got here. Just see where we were last. Was here.
Kathleen says, Kathleen, welcome, Kathleen Steed from in New York City. The resources are good. I do not drive and I do not own a vehicle of any kind. I live in a rental apartment. Interesting how different circumstances change what is applicable in tech. Yeah, I mean, you're right. You're absolutely correct. Times fluctuate and certain things you need now that you didn't need before. Absolutely right. Thanks for listening, Kathleen. I think this is your first time on the show.
Yeah, she introduced herself on Monday morning for the first time.
Yep.
Oh, okay, good. So
Yep.
welcome. Yes, it's nice to
Nice
see
to
you.
hear in the Colorado group that I've been in, which is part of AARP, and I think that's how they found us.
Good, welcome. Greg says good service for going very strong. Yeah, he has of course, the Starlink.
I don't know what that.
Then a high from Argyle, Texas, 95 degrees.
That's it.
That's it. All right. Just a few more articles. We only got 5 minutes left. Man, these hours go fast. Nothing about this, just an interesting article on 10 hidden Windows 10 features you should be using. You can certainly watch that.
I probably will be covering those at the Windows Special Interest Group that I do on the second Sunday that anyone's able to join.
That's the CFCS Windows SIG. Yeah, and that is all the information there, and it'll be on the replay that you can that's the information right there. All right, coming down, Bob. Notepad on steroids.
Mm-hmm.
What are we talking about here?
Want to know why? Watch the video.
Oh. Did you make it? Did you do the video?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, he sent it to us.
Yep. Sure did.
Well, I'm probably going to put it on the Monday show, so I'll watch it then. Indeed. Let's come down here. Who posted? I don't know who posted this one. Samsung funded study shows just how well the Galaxy Watch's for blood oxygen sensor works. I might have put on that. I don't really know why I put that on there. Anyway, how to make Google Chrome your now this is interesting. I thought this might be of interest to people because, of course, Microsoft is always trying to sneak Edge in and trying to make you click the button so that Edge is the default browser. And this is how to make Google Chrome your default browser. I thought Bob's talked about this a lot in the past. It's just an interesting article. If you get confused and you want to come back and make sure Chrome is, this is the article that'll tell you how to do that.
Are you aware that Chromebooks are testing a new browser that will be separated from the operating system? And I can't remember what it's called. And that's available for those who are testing, but I'm not testing, so I don't know. I've not tried it.
Unfortunately, my Chromebook expired. I can't do testing anymore till I get a new Chromebook. And I've been doing too many other things. So right now, Chromebook is not in my future.
Yeah. Ray, this is an interesting article, and I must, we don't have a lot of time to talk about it, but just in a nutshell, I was doing some video. I had to make a video on a product. It was sort of a product review, and I was doing it on my cell phone, and I was using the mic on my cell phone, which of course didn't work when I was up at the table unboxing. And I realized that I had to have another microphone associated with my phone, which means, and I ultimately got a wireless mic and connected it. And I thought, I had to figure out how to do this, because normally the microphone on your cell phone is the internal microphone, but I didn't want that. I wanted another microphone. And this is a great article on how to record internal and external audio on your Android device.
Yeah, as soon as I saw you bring it up, I was writing down the information. I'm going to look into that.
It's
in many cases how that can be really useful.
It is, and it's a very if you're doing because your cell phone is a very good phone, and particularly the Pixel 6, and it actually has a good mic. But if you're in a room and it's on a stand and you're standing over at a table unboxing, it's like you're in it's echoey and you're in a big box, which you don't want that when you're, and then you have to do a voiceover if you're doing editing, and it just gets complicated. But the easiest way is to connect another microphone to your phone, but that's using a different microphone. So this is how you go about that. Well, listen, guys, it's I'm going to stop sharing because guess what? An hour's over, and we have to get ready for learning Chromebooks, right?
Yeah,
Bob, are you going to be there?
I'm not sure yet.
Okay. Well, Hugh and I will be doing that in about an hour's time. Well, do you open it up? What, about half?
I'll open it in a half an hour.
Okay.
At
Great.
1:30 my time.
Well, I want to thank everyone for coming today. It's been, man, it's a gas. It's always lots of fun doing this. We have some really good stuff that's happening in tech, and we'll be back next week again. And of course, we'll see everybody on Monday for our show. Ray's going to be talking about home theaters, I guess, eh?
Entertainment systems.
Yeah, entertainment systems.
Choices we have in making sure we hear the sound as well as watch the great movies.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. Entertainment systems in your home, right?
Yes.
Very good. And otherwise, we will see everybody in another week. Be sure this will be podcasted out for tomorrow. And have a great, I guess it's a long weekend in Canada. It's a long weekend in the US.
It's just a weekend.
Just a week. I guess when you're retired, who cares, right?
A month from now will be.
It's either Saturday or Sunday every day. So.
Yeah. All right, everyone. We'll see you in a week's time. Bye now.
Bye.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.